Welcome guys, this is Two-Tone Tony. We're trying out something new here. I want to experiment when telling you guys the story of one of my favorite manga series of the past couple years, Chainsaw Man. I don't think I can express to you guys just how freaking excited I was when I found out that we're actually getting an anime adaptation for this by none other than freaking Mappa. Yeah, the studio that brought us Kakegurui, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Attack on Titan Season 4, that masterpiece. Yeah, honestly, I expect nothing but the respect that the series deserves because we all know how it feels when studios put out, subpar content. And yes, I am looking at you, Seven Deadly Sins. But nonetheless, just trying to see if this is something you guys would be interested in. So if you guys like this type of content, show some love to that like button below. In doing so, it helps with the channel's exposure on YouTube, connecting us with other manga and anime lovers across the platform. And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content coming your way. And boy, do we have a lot of it. Alrighty, so let's begin. Chainsaw Man was written by a mangaka named Tatsuki Fujimoto, who's also known for writing this really popular and honestly really wild manga called Fire Punch. If you guys get the chance, definitely check that out. But going back to Chainsaw Man, it's probably one of the most out there shonen I've read in a while. For those of you that don't know what a manga is, it's essentially a, let's say, Japanese comic book. And there's different subcategories, of course, one of which being a shonen. Shonen is essentially a manga marketed towards young teen boys between the ages of 12 and 18. The category of shonen is mainly referring to demographic and ease of reading. For example, the most popular shonen out there, the likes of One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and the sort. You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, Chainsaw Man came in and said, you know what? Let's break down some of these walls, as it's definitely way more explicit than its counterparts of the popular shonen category. We essentially have a main protagonist named Denji that hunts devils with his pet chainsaw pup, Pochita. And he has a very simple goal in mind, which we'll touch on here in a bit, that drives him to do almost anything to achieve. So, we initially pick up with Denji bouncing some numbers off of Pochita, stating that the two of them have been working together to pay down a 38 million yen debt. To put that into perspective, that is a lot of money. These guys are dirt poor, referring to Denji and his pup, and he states he's been selling his body parts to include his kidney, eyeball, and even one of his baby makers. Yeah, one of his balls. With this being one of the first panels of the manga, it kind of shows us just how crazy Mr. Fujimoto is when it comes to his manga. We then see Denji stalking a devil roaming the streets of a town, and he pretty much lets us know the best way to make money in his situation right now is to put himself on the line and hunt these dangerous devils, with his best friend Pochita, who he holds kind of like a chainsaw to, kill these devils. Skipping the fight, we cut to the next panel where we find out Denji refers to the devil as the Tomato Devil, which is actually a very important plot point, which we'll touch on, as the story progresses and stuff like that, but keep that in mind. He gets his reward from a man that we're led to believe sells the deceased devil bodies on the black market for copious amounts of money. He then offers Denji 400,000 yen. With his 38 million yen debt, this is huge, and as excited as he can be, Denji bursts out with a thanks, only to be interrupted by the man stating that he's taking out a decent portion of his earnings, mumbling and calculating Denji's debt, interest, commission for referring Denji, and his associated fees, whatever that's supposed to mean, leaving Denji with less than a fraction of what he was rewarded. And after just subtracting his water bill and a few other loan payments, that leaves him with nothing but 1,800 yen. Guys, to put that into perspective, that is roughly 15 American dollars. Yeah, that guy with the hat is a total dick. The man with the hat then gets in his car with his driver and everything, and Denji begins to walk back home. With all of the loans and bills, of course, Denji and Pochita have a tough time getting food, as he says they can only have a slice of bread for the night, showing us that these guys are straight struggle city, really struggling. We then see, the man with the hat has an exchange with his driver where they talk about where Denji's debt actually comes from. Fun fact, it's not Denji's, it's his dad's. And we find out that the guys in the car and who Denji's kind of working for and stuff like that are members of the Yakuza. And the main reason that they're using Denji is because, and this is a major plot point, Denji does as he's told. To kind of further push that narrative, Fujimoto actually has Denji eat a cigarette that the driver is kind of daring him to do for 100 yen. And of course, Denji eats it. On the way while they were leaving, though, the driver was just essentially letting him know, look, you try to leave, you're definitely going to die. And Denji was like, A-okay, boss. So crazy, you know? But now I don't really feel like that's a bad thing that he's doing whatever he needs to do to pay down his debt and stuff. But dude, there has to be a point. You know, you got to respect yourself or something. But anyways, Denji's happy that he got the extra money for himself and Pochi Boy. It kind of gives them a little bit more money to be able to eat another slice of bread or something, you know? So Denji and his bud arrive at their little shack of a home, and Denji expresses that he recognizes that he most likely won't pay off the debt that he has, and he wishes he could be with a girl before he dies. You know, he's just a teenager. They let us know that he's about like 16 years old or so. Now, with what we know about his life so far, I can only imagine his yearning for, like, you know, human companionship, even though he has Pochita, you know, as well as primarily being a teenager, you know, being young, dumb, and full of cum. Yeah, you know what I mean? You guys get it. You've been there, you know? Denji flashes back to a time where he was standing outside of his father's grave being told by the man with the hat that regardless of if he has to sell his body or beg in the streets, he better have some money to pay him or he's dead, and then drives off, showing the start of the relationship between, you know, Denji being a young guy and the Yakuza guy. Pochi Boy then pops out from behind a tree and surprises Denji. Now, with his father being dead, mother being nowhere to be seen, and him being threatened that he will be killed if he doesn't pay up, he tells a little chainsaw dog to kill him because he's dead either way. And instead of doing so, Pochi actually reveals that he's injured, and Denji, under the circumstance of a contract essentially creating this kind of symbiotic relationship between the two, he allows Pochi to drink his blood, as it's said that blood heals devils. The rest seems to be history as we cut back to Denji and Pochi cuddling up in the cold little shack for the rest of the night. With the lack of food and the stress of being in beyond crippling debt, Denji decides to focus on the fact that if he is able to fall asleep, you know, he's going to focus really hard on like what he's going to dream about. All the things nicer in life. That of which being, you know, some toast with jam, making out with a girl, and even getting a little freaky in the bedroom. You know what I mean? But as nice as these daydreams are, they're cut short by a spurt of Denji violently coughing up blood. He then reveals that his mother, that was missing at the time when he was at his father's grave, actually died of a heart issue that caused her to cough up blood as well, which kind of leads us to believe that Denji is barely clinging to life here, you know, being on death's door in multiple facets. Whether it's the Yakuza guys threatening him barely having food to feed his belly, or his newly revealed sickness, it's like kind of depressing when you think about it. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that's kind of like the charm of the series. It's because it's genuinely a wild ride through and through. You really never know what's gonna happen, and I promise you guys, man, when I say this story is crazy, it's awesome. So before Denji could recollect himself, we get some banging on the door still in the middle of the night, and through the door, told by the man with the hat, you know, the Yakuza guy, that there's a new devil that he needs Denji to take care of, like right then and now. And just like that, Denji can't, you know, deny the work because he needs the money, so they're off. He drives Denji to a completely abandoned factory building, and as Denji starts looking around for this, you know, supposed devil, the man with the hat starts saying, you know, Denji boy, you have our thanks. And oh God, guys, when I tell you it's about to pop up. He proceeds to tell him that he was obedient like a dog and even happy to work for cheap scraps like a dog too. But the thing is, I hate the stench of fucking dogs. And then another member of the Yakuza jumps out and plunges a sword straight through the heart of Denji and Pochita at the same time, killing them. And just like that, our main character and his trusty sidekick are dead, gone, cut down in cold blood like freaking animals. And man, when I tell you guys, I almost lost my mind reading this for the first time because it caught me so off guard, because I was like, there's no effing way they can kill off the main character like in the first couple pages of the first chapter, you know, just like this. It's crazy. But on that note, guys, we are going to bring this video to an end, and yes, on such a cliffhanger, because I am just that mean. Just as a reminder, if you guys like this video, please do leave a like below and hit that subscribe button to support the channel. I'm really looking forward to doing a part 2, but I just want to see if you guys are interested. So go ahead and leave a comment below just to let me know what you guys thought about the video, the manga, any recommendations you guys have. And honestly, I'm looking forward to reading through the comments and, you know, talking to you guys about this. My friends and I, we all love this manga. Like, When we read it, we were like, I wish we could have amnesia just so that we can experience it all over again, because it's just that crazy. But anyways, I will catch you guys on the next video. Two-Tone Tony out.